Hey, so Penalized Math and History, and we are going to be understanding this or that with quadratic trinomials. So, there are two ways that we have been learning to try to pull out factors of a quadratic trinomial. There is normally factoring when you have ax squared plus bx plus c. And when you do that, you try to get two numbers that represent x. And that also helps you when you want to find the two binomials and the factors you're trying to find to understand when you factor. But when you square root them, what you see is this only works with equations and problems with ax squared plus c. There is no bx. This is not going to work because you can only square root the ax squared because it has an x squared and the c when you try to find the most simplest answer when you square root c. So we are going to be practicing how to make decisions to understand which of the two would make common sense to solve this or that.
Yeah, I have this thing here that can manipulate gravity. Should be able to get you to float across.
Let me just... wait. Up, down... Did it work?
Okay, so here is our first problem. Which of the two do you think is possible to do so we can understand what x is? Well, since we have an x squared, subtract that by 81, and 81 is a perfect square, it'll also be this one. Another way we can be thinking it is it follows the rules ax squared plus c as 81 as c. So we are going to pick the right answer, or the right method, ax squared plus c using the square roots. So we're going to have to add this by 81 and add this side by 81 because it's currently a 0. Now we have x squared equals 81. In order to find out what x is, what we could do is square root the x squared and square root the 81. When we do that, we get x equals positive or negative 9. That's because 9 times 9 equals 81. And that also means that negative 9 times negative 9 equals 81. So there are two answers, 9 and negative 9. So the right method would work because you are using a problem that follows the rule ax squared plus c. Let's try and find out another one and see where that goes. Okay, so you have 7x squared equals 14x. What we are going to do is which of the two following methods is going to work to try and understand what x is for this one. Is it that one or that one? Well, for this one, I'm going to choose the right one because it's one of my favorite things to do. Let's see what happens.
Okay, let me just teleport this thing in here for you.
Yeah!
That last clip indicated it's a fail. The reason why is when you try to square root these, it's not an easy method because it follows the rule ax squared is going to be added by bx. Because what we gotta do is subtract that side by 14x, subtract that side by 14x. So now we have 7x squared, subtract that by 14x. The reason why the right one does not work, because it doesn't have a c value. It has a b value, which means the left method will have to work. This is the method we'll have to be using. factoring and understanding how to get the two x's when it equals to 0. So, since we have a quadratic trinomial written out, or we have 7x squared minus 14x equals 0, what we gotta do is we gotta try and factor it out. So 7x with x, because x squared, x times x is x squared, 7x times x is x squared, plus 2, because 7 times 2 is 14. Wait, we have to negative 2 equals 0. When we do that, we get to use two numbers that give us x. X minus 2 equals 0, and 7x equals 0. What we gotta do now is use the 0 property to find out what the two x's are by simplifying. So we have to add this by 2, add that by 2, and we have x equals positive 2. Or, because x could be another thing or object, divide by 7, divide by 7. 0 divided by 7 is x equals 0, or x equals 0. So these are the two x's that we'll find to make this equation true. And that is when you have to use the left method, because with the right method, you can only use that when you have a c value, not a b value. And that is how we can make choices carefully whether to solve this or that. I hope this video has helped you. Thank you for watching Top Penalized Math Industry. Like and subscribe.